Hello again. I thought I'd start our November video by talking about the garden that's behind me here, which I've created and I call the Forever Garden. And the reason that I call it that is because everything that we've planted in here is something that you will have forever. So they're either perennials or they self-seed really easily. You can easily grow them from cuttings. And I have to say that the only problem that I'm having with this garden is keeping it under control. One of the plants that people quite often ask me about when they come into the Sustainability Centre is this one here, which is New Zealand spinach. Now, New Zealand spinach grows wild on 𝗴𝗿𝗱𝗃𝗃, it grows everywhere. It's actually not a spinach at all. Looks like spinach and it's used in a very similar way to spinach. It's highly nutritious and you can just cut it up and cook it and use it the way you would regular spinach. As well as the New Zealand spinach, some of the things that we've planted in here are the Okinawa spinach, which has got a lovely purple back to its leaf. I've of course got some ordinary silverbeet, which will self-seed all over the place, hopefully. Parsley, garlic chives. This is one that I'm also learning a bit about. This is sorrel, which once again not used a lot in New Zealand, but it's very, very commonly used in French cuisine, and it has a lovely lemony flavour. People use it in soups and casseroles and salads. I've got rocket, of course, and over at the back I've got two kinds of mint, which we have put into pots so that they don't just like take over the entire garden. And just here, which you can't see at the moment, but which is going to be my specimen plant, is a little ricotta chili, which is a beautiful perennial chili which will eventually grow to fill this space, and which has lovely, the chilies turn from green to purple to red, all at the same time on the plant. I'm really excited about this one. In the last video, the October video, I said I would talk more about comfrey, and so here it is. Now the reason I'm keen to talk about comfrey is that it is the most wonderful natural fertiliser for your garden, and it grows really easily on 𝗴𝗿𝗃𝗃𝗃. So it's a true perennial, which means that it actually dies down in winter, but don't panic, it doesn't mean it's dead. It will all come up with lovely fresh leaves in the spring. So I've got some particularly gorgeous big healthy leaves here, and these leaves are just chock full of all kinds of nutrients that will be wonderful for your garden. And the reason for that, the reason that comfrey is so effective, is that it has a very long tap root. So its root goes right down into the soil beyond where your fruit tree roots or your vegetable roots are going to be able to reach, brings those minerals up through its system and stores them in the leaves. So here we've got it. Another reason I love it is that it is very easy to use. So you can just chop it up and put it in your compost, or you can just mix it into the top layer of your soil and plant directly into it. So that's fine. But another way that's very popular is to make a liquid comfrey feed. Now you can just take a kilogram of comfrey leaves and mix it with 15 litres of water and leave it for a few weeks, and that makes a tea that you then just put directly onto your garden. But if you don't happen to have a 15 litre container, another way which I particularly like is to make a very concentrated liquid feed, which you can then dilute 20:1 and just put it on your plants as you need it. And so this is what I've got here. I've got this started, and all this is a bottle where I've cut off the top and then rested the whole thing into a nice stable jar. And what you do is you just cut up your comfrey leaves very small and stuff them into the jar, and they will gradually break down and you get this lovely, rich, nutritious juice at the bottom. So, and then you just keep on doing that until your jar is full. So obviously I need to put some more in, so I'm just going to do that. Now you'll see I'm wearing gloves because comfrey leaves are quite prickly and can be a bit irritating. So I'm just cutting up my leaves quite small and stuffing them down on top of what I've already got. You need to keep this bottle airtight, so I've just inverted the bottom of the bottle that I cut and put that on, and that's working well. Or you can just put a plastic bag over it with a good tight rubber band. But if it's not airtight, then the comfrey is just going to dry out rather than turning into this liquid feed. Growing your own comfrey is really easy. All you need are a few root divisions like this one, and you just pop them into a corner of your garden somewhere where they'll get some moisture and they will take off. And just be aware that they spread. They're like, once you've got comfrey, it's another one that you've got forever. And so I would not put this in the middle of my vegetable garden. I would put it beside my compost bin or somewhere where it doesn't matter if it takes over a patch. November is a great month for gardeners because there's still plenty of time to put in all those summer vegetables that we love. So what I've got in our kitchen garden here, I've got cucumbers, courgette, but of course there's still time to put in your tomatoes, your eggplants, your beans, capsicum and chilies. So yeah, really exciting time. Also, our kohlrabi is doing really well, and it's actually some of it's ready to harvest, so that's pretty cool as well.